everybody flooding in. How is everybody doing on this fantastic fucking Sunday? I hope you had a good break. Looks like you got tan. Chat, do I look tan? I think I look tan. I'm going to get way more tan on the second one. All right, let's get into the goddamn stories, chat. Are y'all ready? Lock in here. Number one, do y'all know where I went? I have to explain that first. Where did I go? I went to an all-inclusive resort in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I was in Mexico for about, 6 days? Or 5 days. I didn't go to Wyoming. No, that was like a month ago. And it was an all-inclusive resort. Basically what that means is you pay a lump sum of money, and when you're there, everything's included, right? So the food is free, the alcohol is free, the drinks are free. Most stuff is free, right? Because you pay a lump fee, and then when you're there, you just get everything, right? The flight there was fine. The flight back was horrible. But I'll explain that. I'm going to explain the story in order. So we pull up, and the first day we're there, we land, and we get there. I wake up at 2 a.m., by the way. I have to explain this. I get up at 2 a.m. to get on this flight, right? Because the flight takes off at like 6 international flights. You have to get there early as fuck, right? So the flight takes off. We land, blah, blah, blah. We're sitting on the tarmac for fucking an hour or whatever. It takes off. We land. Good shit. We get to the resort. I'm fucking starving. Starving. I haven't eaten in 7 fucking hours. I'm pissed. Like, I'm in the resort in a bad mood, right? Because I'm hungry as shit. I'm like, let's go eat. Dude, for the people saying lag, actually shove a fist up your ass, right? This whole thing, elbow up, right? For the idiots that are saying lag, it's not lagging. Your Wi-Fi just fucking sucks. Pringles can. Up the ass. We go eat. We go to a buffet. I order a bunch of food. I'm chilling. I'm happy as fuck. I look to my right. My friend has already macked 4 margaritas. I've ordered 1 mojito. I sit down. I say, what's my first drink? I'm in Mexico. Let me get a fucking mojito. If you don't know what a mojito is, it's like a minty fucking drink. Tastes good as fuck, right? My friend's 5 margs in. And I'm like, you wanna like do something? Like, what do you mean? Like he's like sitting there. He's drunk as fuck already. We're at lunch. And he's like, I'm going to take a nap. I'm like, no way you just pull up to Mexico, down 5 margaritas, and fall asleep. So he goes and lays down. I end up taking a fucking 30-minute power nap as well because I'm dead tired. Because I didn't sleep on the plane because I'm sitting upright in a JetBlue flight. Fucking legs right next to each other. The woman next to me smelled rancid. Let me tell you that, by the way. I hope she doesn't see this. I mean, she was like 40, so I doubt she smelled like mildew. She smelled like mold. I don't know why she smelled bad, but she did. And I thought it was me at one point. And I'm like, because I'm wearing a tank top, I end up going like this, like mid-flight when she's looking the other way. I'm like, I don't even smell. It's her. She has to get up to the bathroom 4 fucking times. That pisses me the fuck off. But I understand it because she's sitting window seat and I'm sitting middle and Brooke's sitting aisle and she needs to get by us. So she's like, can I get up? And I wake up Brooke and Brooke gets like a little upset with me. I'm like, it's not my fault. I end up taking my first shit on a plane too. Let me tell you how that went. Oh my God, I'm jumping all over the place. Rewind to when we took the flight there. I didn't shit in the morning because I woke up at 2 a.m. So I'm on the flight and I have to take a fucking shit. Right? And I take 30-minute poops. So I'm trying to time this out because I don't want to poop on a plane because, number one, it's uncomfortable. Number 2, there's like 2 bathrooms on a plane for like 200 people. So then other people are going to be waiting for me. So I'm like waiting near the end of the flight and I get like a good time slot to go take a dump, right? And I shit and my knees are pressing against the door and I'm sweating. And all I'm thinking about is, oh my God, somebody needs to take a shit or use the bathroom. And they're waiting outside and they're going to be waiting for me. So I'm like panicking. And I'm just trying to shit as fast as possible. And I'm wiping my ass. And let me tell you, that toilet paper was tearing up my ass. Tearing up my ass. That shit wasn't even 1 ply. That fucking JetBlue toilet paper had to been half ply. That was like sandpaper. I had to pull half the fuck. I might as well just grab the roll and wipe my ass. That's fine. I get off. Oh my God. I had a bacterial infection too. I forgot about that. There's so many stories. This is going to take an hour. All right. Let me just go in order. I'm jumping all over the place. I had a bacterial infection. I was shitting my brains out while I was there. That was the only bad part of being in Mexico. It was something. I don't know what I had. I had something. I was shitting water for like 3 days. It was bad, right? That was unenjoyable. That made the trip a bit worse. But I tried to hustle through it, right? Anyways, let me get through the story. We land, we eat lunch. My friend's drunk as fuck, takes a nap. I bounce up. I go down to the pool bar. We start drinking and shit. we go eat dinner. And at dinner, how the dinners work is there's a menu, but you can order whatever the fuck you want, however many times you want. So even though it's all inclusive, you're still allowed to order like 5 orders of chicken or 5 orders of shrimp, right? And so my friend sees raw bar. A raw bar is like oysters, clams, raw shrimp, shit like that. And he's like, I'm gonna fuck up this raw shrimp. He orders 2 raw bars. He orders 2 raw bars, right? 2 orders. They pull up the shrimps, because we're in Mexico. They have the heads and the legs still on them. Like, they're just dead shrimp, right? They're not. He orders like 2 orders of fucking dead, and they're not peeled, right? They're not peeled. They're not ready to eat, right? You have to do it yourself. They're just dead shrimp that are just like on ice, right? And they hand them to him. And he's like cutting into them, and like the blood on like the head of them is getting all over him. And he's so upset. And I'm watching my friend try and eat this shrimp, right? And it gets to the point, and let me tell you, like, it depended the worker, right? But some of the workers had better English than others. And he ends up not really eating the shrimp. He eats like a few of the clams and like maybe the octopus that was on it. And the guy comes back and he goes, "Do you like this shrimp?" Like trying to say like, I don't like this shrimp, right? Like, do you like this shrimp? And the guy goes, "Let me go ask." And my friend goes, "What do you mean? Like, I asked you," and he's already gone, right? And so we're sitting there like, what does he mean, let me go ask? Like, who are you? You're going to ask someone if you like shrimp? He comes back with 50 of them on a fucking plate. He originally brought out like 5 shrimp, 5 clams, and like 5 octopus. He comes back with a bowl of fucking dead shrimp for this man to eat. And my friend goes, and he's watching him, and he pours like this weird fucking like dry, he pours like water on dry ice or something, and it makes like this cool cloud. And he goes, and then he walks away, and my friend's like, what the fuck? And so he now he has to waste the food, right? Because he didn't want any of it. But he's like, "Do you like shrimp?" The guy thought he wanted more shrimp. And my friend has a whole bowl of dead shrimp that he didn't want to eat. Then we go to the lobby bar. And one of my friends can drink a lot. And we're going to get to the nightclub. They had a nightclub on the island, right? Or not the island, on like Playa del Carmen, right? On the resort. And we're going to get to that story in a second. But just to preface this, one of my friends, when he drinks an absurd amount of alcohol. He's also like 6'5" and doesn't really get drunk quick. But to put it into perspective, here's his drinks. These are called mini beers. This is a picture. It's liquor 43, so this is a shot, not beer. And cream. This is his shots, right? I took like 3. He took like the rest. And it ends up getting pretty hectic, but that's just to put that in perspective for how the drinking starts. We go to the lobby bar. We have a few shots, few drinks, go to the karaoke bar, and then everybody goes to bed that night because we're kind of tired still, right? Wake up the next day. This is where shit gets bad. We start the day working out, right? I get up at 7:30 in the morning. Your boy normally wakes up at like noon. But I'm like, I'm not wasting my fucking vacation. I'm going to get up early and I'm going to go lift. I'm lifting and I'm so hungover. Like, I'm lifting and I'm sweating, and it's like the alcohol sweats where it's like I feel like shit. And once we're done, I just start ordering fucking margaritas, mojitos. We start playing pool volleyball. I get sunburned as fuck. Forgot to put sunscreen on. We just start drinking, right? Because, like, we're there and the alcohol is free. So you might as well get your money's worth because you paid the fucking lump sum to go to the resort. And I can order an unlimited amount of alcohol. Let me just start fucking drinking. That day goes pretty normal. We go to dinner, and then we go to the nightclub that night. And before we go to the nightclub, my friend, who can't get a Nick stick, is fiending for cigarettes. Nicotine or Nick sticks are apparently illegal in Mexico, and he didn't know that. He does a lot of Nick, right? One of my friends has Zins, and he's packing Zins and shit. But my friend wants to smoke, right? And so he's trying to find cigarettes. I wanted to find a cigar to smoke one cigar. I ended up smoking one cigar, but it took like a bit to find it. But that was like the third night. But he really wants to find cigarettes. So we're like going on a mad goose chase across this entire resort to find my friend Marlboro Reds, right? And he gets them. And then we go to the nightclub. People are saying El Mexico because they don't have fucking Nick Sticks. We end up going to the nightclub that night. And the nightclub is fucking Star Wars themed. And they had Minecraft playing on the TV. Can't see it through the smoke. There's Minecraft caves on the screen. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, why the fuck is there Minecraft videos playing on the fucking screen at a goddamn nightclub? And there's fucking a stormtrooper just standing there. I'm like, what? I turn to the guy. I'm like, what the fuck is there Minecraft? He doesn't understand me. And he's like, what? And I'm like, the game, Minecraft. And he's like, ugh. And he's standing staring at me. I'm like, okay, whatever. They just playing Minecraft music at the club. It just didn't make sense. But we're at the nightclub. And we get there. And this was the night that everybody drank the most, which was the second night. My friend who drinks a lot pulls up. And there's about 15 of us. And he says, let me get 15 shots. Let me get 15 green tea shots, right? They pull out the 15 shots. He hands out 7 and takes the rest. He drinks 8 shots. 8 shots. He orders 15 for 15 people. He drinks 8. And I go, and I've seen him drink, right? But I've never seen him do that. And I ask him, I'm like, are you going to be okay? Like, why did you just do that, right? And he goes, yeah, I'm fine. And then he orders like 15 Malibu shots and takes 8. And I tap him. I'm like, yo, you just took like 16 shots. Like, are you going to be, like, you're not going to black out, right? Like, you're going to be fine? And he's like, yeah. He just keeps doing it, right? We're there the whole time. And we wanted to go to the casino that night. Turns out they didn't have a casino. L in the chat for Mexico real quick. Or for that resort, rather. They didn't have a casino. I end up meeting this kid that recognized me, or half recognized me. He knew me the day before. He's like, you look mad familiar. And I'm like, I do TikTok. And he goes, oh, shit. So he didn't really know who I was, but he, like, saw me before. We end up hanging out with him. And he starts smoking cigarettes with my friend. And I go, oh, boy, this is going to be a night. This is going to be a fucking night. And we're sitting there. We're drinking a lot. We end up going back. About like 1 a.m. And I find this wooden horse. And I'm like really drunk. I don't even really want to show this photo. But I end up like taking 15 minutes to get on top of this horse. And you can kind of tell I look defeated. But like, I'm sitting on this horse. I probably shouldn't have sat on it. Because if this broke, this would have been a hefty penny for me to pay for them to fix it. But I don't know why I wanted it. I thought I would post it on Instagram, but I'm like not even looking at the camera, and I'm like, my eyes are closed. Anyways, we end up getting a golf cart back, and my friend goes to the bar and just keeps drinking more. I don't see him the rest of the night because I go pass out. We wake up the next day, and I'm like really hungover. I didn't really drink that day at all. But that day, I'm in like a bad mood, right? Because when you're hungover, you just kind of feel like shit. We're eating lunch, and while we're eating lunch, I leave my shit on like these beds, right, that we like claimed. And I come back and this Karen comes up to me and goes, you're gonna need to move your stuff. Like that. You're gonna need to move your stuff. And I said, lady, I've had my stuff here for 9 fucking hours. I've been here since 9 a.m. I've been here, right? This is my stuff. And she says, well, my stuff's right here. Okay? And it was the one next to mine. But I'm assuming she also wanted to claim the one that had none of her shit on it, but it was right next to me, right? I'm like, fuck you, right? I didn't say that, but I was like pissed. And then her boyfriend starts walking up behind her. Keep in mind, this dude looks like the epitome of a worm. I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna fuck? What are you gonna fucking do, dickhead? Like, I'm not even being a dick to your girl. She's telling me to move my shit. What are you gonna fucking back her up? He's like 5'5". And like 110 pounds. Pale as fuck. I'm pale. He's even more pale than me. This man hasn't seen light in fucking 3 months. And he's gonna come yell at me to move my shit. That pissed me off. That was like the only bad interaction I had with somebody the whole day. Actually, no. There was another man, and he was like chill the first day, right? I saw him the first day where we were there. He was in like American pants, like American like bathing suit pants, and he was talking to us. And he was like, yeah, my wife's pregnant. We're here on vacation. And he was drinking. She obviously couldn't because she was pregnant. He like we see him, and I'm like, I'm not gonna see him the rest of the trip. I'm like, good shit, man. Have a good day. After the night at the club, oh my God, I forgot this. After the night at the club, we go back to my friend's room, and he's there wearing a Dunder Mifflin shirt in my friend's room. And I'm like, I haven't seen you in like 9 hours. Like, how are you here? Like, I don't know if it was because I was that drunk, but like he's there, and he's wearing a Dunder Mifflin shirt in our room. I'm like, I barely know your name. I think his name was like Tommy or something like that. Sort of with a T. Timmy, Tommy, Trey, something like that. I don't know. He was nice, but I was like, how the fuck are you? And he was like 35. He was like 35, 40. My group, outside of the kid that recognized me was like 19. But it was like 19 to 25 was like our group. I was like, man, you're like way older than us. It's not even like a 5-year age gap. You're like 20 years older than us, almost, right? Like you have a wife that's pregnant. And I didn't say that. My girlfriend, Brooke goes, you know, we're actually ordering food. This is kind of a family time. In like a nice way to kind of say like, fuck off. And he goes, and he gets mad. He goes, oh, I know when I'm not welcomed. And then he storms out. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he leaves, and they shut the door. I'm like, when did he get into this room? Like, how long has this man been with us? I didn't see him at the nightclub. I didn't see him at the bar. And they were like, oh, he was dancing with us at the karaoke bar. I was like, what? I was like, we were at the karaoke bar for 5 minutes. And he followed us back, and he said one of my friends invited him. The one that was drinking so many shots. The one that had like 30 shots in a fucking night. I said, oh, of course. My friend invited him back to the room. We don't know him. Why is he in your room? Next day goes by. I want to go fucking kayaking. The seas are rough, right? When I say rough, I mean like 3-4 foot waves. I go up to the kayaking guy. I say, buddy, how much is it for like 8 kayaks? He goes, we can't go kayaking. I said, why the hell not? I said, I can't go kayaking. I'm going to go kayaking. He said, the waves are too rough. I said, pal, I can handle those fucking waves. He said, oh, well, we had a group come out at 10 a.m. and somebody fell off. I said, okay, well, they're not Joe Bart, all right? Somebody fell off the fucking kayak. That's their fucking problem, okay? Right? Like, get me on the fucking... He said, I can't get you on the kayak. He said, I can maybe get you on the jet ski. I said, yeah, I got to pay for the fucking jet ski, pal. He said, I can maybe get you on the jet ski. I said, how much is jet ski? He's like, $50. I'm like, all right, well, I can't eat. I said, can I go on the jet ski right now? He said, maybe later. I said, then what the fuck are you telling me I could go on the goddamn jet ski? I get mad, right? I'm getting mad. I want to go fucking kayaking. I've been wanting to go kayaking since day one. Can't go kayaking. Waves are too rough. Also, side note, I'm going all over the place on this story. While we're in Mexico, there's seaweed everywhere. And when I say seaweed everywhere, I don't mean like a little bit of seaweed. I mean like a massive problem of seaweed. Like this is what this is what it looked like. Like this isn't the resort I was at, but it looked like this. Like there's just seaweed everywhere. And I'm like, why is there I end up walking up to a guy and I'm like, why is there fucking seaweed everywhere? And he goes, oh, you don't know? And I go, what the fuck do you mean I don't know? And I'm like, I can't even swim in the water. I was like, it's that bad. And he's like, yeah. He said in some country, it was either Brazil or something. I don't remember what he said, but it was some country. He said they dumped tons of fertilizer into the ocean, and there's a mound of seaweed the size of Georgia floating through the Caribbean. And I said, I'm just now finding out about this. And he said, yeah. I was like, is this going to go away? He said, no, it's going to be here for like weeks. I said, oh, fucking shit. The 1 week I'm in fucking Mexico. So I went into the ocean like one time. I went on the beach a bunch, but I was like, I went into the pool when I wanted to go in the water. Because, dude, it was like, you couldn't even walk. There was that much seaweed in the fucking water. It was disgusting. That night, right after I bitch about kayaking, we go drink at the karaoke bar. I go to use the bathroom. And let me tell you, chat, I had a conundrum. And before I tell you about my conundrum, I'm going to show you the photos of the bathroom signs. This is the woman's bathroom. This is the men's bathroom. Okay? They're very similar. That's the women's bathroom, and that's the men's bathroom, right? It doesn't say men, women, doesn't say hermano, hermana. It says, it's just a very clear stick figure. And one has like a straight down circle, or a straight down like little circle-esque thing. And the other is more diagonal, right? Now, this is when I have my shit problem, right? Like a massive shit problem. I think it was either the water I drank or something I ate. I couldn't retain water. I was just shitting. Like I shit one day like 12 times. And I couldn't stop pooping. And I'm drunk as fuck. And I'm like, I have to take a shit. And so I walk into what I believe is the men's bathroom, right? I do one of these, and I go, and I look at the sign, and I walk in, right? And I'm not going to the urinal, so I don't see no damn urinal. The bathroom's empty. No one's in the bathroom. I walk into a stall, and I start taking a shit. About 5-10 minutes pass. I'm still alone. I hear the door open. I'm like, oh, a guy has to take a shit. Somebody knocks on the door. I go, I'm in here. And I hear, oh, okay. And I go. And it's just like, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm trying to reason, right? I'm like, maybe that was just a high-pitched man. Or maybe they're in the wrong bathroom. And I'm like, there's no way they're in the wrong bathroom. And so I wipe my ass. And I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I walk out. There's a woman standing there. Like at the sink. And I go, and I put my hands up. I go, is this the woman's bathroom? And she goes, yes. And the woman in the stall goes, yeah. And I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I run out of the bathroom. And the husband is waiting for the wife. And he starts dying laughing when he's looking at me. And I'm like, what? And he goes, I did the same thing yesterday. And I'm like, that's the woman's bathroom, right? And he goes, yeah. He said, I had no idea. Because they look exact. He said, I did the same thing yesterday. He said, my wife saw me walk out of the women's bathroom yesterday. I had no idea. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Dude, because they don't have anything on this fucking sign. It's just this. It's this and this. Dude, it's a stick figure. With a fucking, like this and like that. Like a little fucking differentiation. Like, I'm gonna notice that at 1 a.m. I'm trying to take a shit. I'm running into the bathroom. I didn't see any women in there because the bathroom was empty. I'm taking a shit. I hear a knock on the door. And I hear a woman's voice when I say, I'm in here. And I go, oh my fucking God, I need to get out of this bathroom. And I walk back to my friends, and they're like, did you walk into the women's bathroom? I'm like, yeah. And they were like, okay, I did something similar. I'm like, there's no way you did something fucking similar. And they were like, I walked in yesterday. Shit was annoying the fuck out of me. Anyways, that passes by, and then we're on the last night, right? No, it was that night, actually. I get a knock on my door at 3:30 in the morning. I went to bed at like 12:30, right? I get a knock on my door at 3:30 in the morning, and I go, what the actual fuck? And I stand up, and I'm like, dude, who the hell is at my door? I look through the little, like, what is it called? The little hole in a hotel room. Is it called a peephole? Whatever it is, right? The looking glass through the hole, right? To see who's out there. It's some dude with fucking room service. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I end up just leaving. Like, I don't even open the door. If 5 minutes go by, he knocks again. And I open the door, and I go, hello? And he goes, hola, did you order room service? I said, no. And he goes like, and he checks his list with the room number, and he's like, I'm sorry, I must have the wrong room number. And it's 3:30 in the morning. And I look at, dude, he had like soup and like salad and like chili. And I'm like, who's ordering this at 3:30 in the morning? I close the door. The next morning, we're at breakfast. All of us are at breakfast. I'm talking to my friends. And all of us, I'm in a room with Brooke, and then there's 4 of my other friends in 2 different rooms, right? So we're in 3 different rooms. I'm talking to my friends, and one of my other friends is like, yeah, we also got room service at 3 a.m. I was like, that's weird. And we're sitting there, we're just talking about it. A day goes by. The next night, my friend goes, I ordered that to your room. And I'm like, what? And he said, yeah, I ordered pumpkin soup and like chili and sorbet to your room. He's like, it was fucking hilarious. And he was like, did you hear the guy drop? Because when the guy left, he dropped the whole cart. Like, I closed the door on him, and he's like, I'm sorry. And then as he's walking away, all of the plates just fall. Like, I didn't watch it happen, but you can hear just plates just smacking the ground. And he's like, I was in the room next to you just dying. And I was like, oh, shit. I had no idea. Then he ordered more room service to my friend's room. That next night, after he told me, we're trying to order burgers to our room, right? Because everything's closed, and it's like midnight. And we're all hungry as fuck. And so we order 8 burgers to one room to eat together. And my girlfriend, Brooke, can't eat cheese, right? And they're cheeseburgers. So we have to write in the comments, no cheese, right? But since there's a language barrier, especially with like some of the cooks, you have to write in Spanish what you want, right? And so my friend, who's drunk, trying to write no cheese on the burger, and I take a picture of this, writes no queso on uno burgero and sends it. And who would have guessed they put cheese on the burger? Who would have guessed cheese came on the burger? Because this is just not Spanish. And no queso on uno burgero. And the guy at the bar is watching my friend read this, and he's fucking cracking up. And I'm trying to tell my friend, I'm like, that's not Spanish. And he's just like, who gives a fuck? They'll get it. And he sends it. And they didn't get it. And so we had to wait for another burger to show up. Because when the guy came in, we said we need another one with no cheese. And he said, oh, okay, my bad. We're on the plane back, right? And we're going through security. And there's like, there's this family with like 3 toddlers and like an infant. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm praying they're not on our flight. Like, I'm sitting there praying they're not on our flight, right? Because I hate when people bring kids on planes. Because it is so loud the entire time. We get on the flight, and I'm seat 16D and 16E, right? We're aisle and middle. And there was actually nobody next to us, which was great, because then I could, like, half, like, lay down. To my left, on the other aisle, is a mother who's pregnant, her infant, a 5-year-old, a dad, and a 3-year-old. 4 seats in front of that are 2 more toddlers. The most crying I have ever heard on any flight I've ever been on. And I've been on so many flights. Dude, at one point, I'm trying to sleep, and, like, I'm sleeping a bit, and, like, 5 minutes go by of just, Mama! Mama! And I look over, and the dad has his earbuds blasting a fucking movie, just holding this crying kid. Not even bouncing it, not even trying to make it stop crying, just holding the kid. Just, like, watching the movie. And this kid's just manically, snot running down its face, tears everywhere, just crying. Crying so much, and he just doesn't give a fuck. Right? And if I'm the dad, I'm doing the same damn thing. But if I'm the dad, I'm not bringing that damn kid on the flight no matter what. Yo, you gotta be, and I'm like, why are you in Mexico? How is that even a fun fucking trip? You have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a fucking toddler and a kid on the way. And you're like, let's go to Cancun. Let's go to Playa del Carmen, Mexico, where I can't drink. And I have fucking toddlers I have to take care of that can't eat most of the fucking food. You gotta be a fucking idiot to think that's a good goddamn trip. Anyways, the plane ends. Or the flight ends. And we're walking off the plane. One of my friends is near the front, and he's next to one of the kids that's crying. And he said, he was like, I was this close to grabbing the fucking kid. I was like, what do you mean? He said, I almost threw he was like, I swear to God, I almost threw the kid. Like, I was freaking the fuck out. Because it was a 4-hour flight. Also, there was a car crash. On the way to the airport, there was a car crash. A full car under the bus. I should have taken a picture. 2 people died. They were on, we drove past them. They were like wrapped up. 2 people died in some car crash like 5 minutes before we were leaving. It was fucking crazy. They had to be going like 100 miles an hour easy. They were under the bus, like flattened. Yeah, rip. I would never bring a kid on a plane. That, and they just let it cry the whole time. They didn't even try to they didn't even try to make it stop crying or apologize to anybody around that bitch. I would be like, I'm so sorry. Everybody around me at the end of the flight, I would be like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. They did not give a fuck. One of my friends is talking to like somebody next to them on the flight, and they're like, I would never bring a kid on a flight. And the dad's just hearing this whole conversation. Like, I hate when kids cry. He's just saying that, and the dad's just sitting there like unfazed. I'm like, dude, I was about to say something to the parents. Why the hell did you go to Mexico when you have fucking 3 toddlers and an infant and a kid on the fucking way, dude? And you thought that would be a fun goddamn trip. Yeah, let's go on a plane with them. Anyways, that was the trip. Then I got home. We were chilling. Melanin for the sub. The worst part of the trip was the fact that I had the shits for like a good margin of the trip. All right, let's lock in here. Chat. First video of the day. We'll actually do a rundown of the reacts we have.